This special Today's Homeowner podcast is brought to you by BILCO, the leader in basement access products. To learn how to get more out of your basement, visit BILCO.com. Welcome to this very special Today's Homeowner podcast, where we're going to talk about basement renovations with a guy that knows a lot about it. Michael Enderlin is the regional sales manager for BILCO. Michael, thanks for being with me today.
Hey, thank you for having me on.
You know, when you think about the space down below your living area that so many homes across the country have, boy, what a great opportunity to develop that extra bedroom or the game room, or in so many cases right now, people need that extra office space. But what do you feel is one of the most important things? Of course, you got to have proper code-compliant access from the living area down to there. But that's only part of what you really have to provide for a basement.
Correct. I mean, so for me, I think the biggest benefit is that it increases the square footage of your livable space, especially in areas where you now have more children, or you have an adult child moving back into the home, or the in-laws move in. It allows you, yes, to entertain that lower space and add a bath, add a bedroom, add a great room, den, office now with everybody seeming to work from home. And from what I've seen, most estimates say there's a 70% return on investment in terms of financing the basement and finishing it off. So that's the biggest thing. It also increases your comfort level. Like I said, you can add a bedroom if you're in what you feel is cramped quarters, or add a bathroom. Go from a one-bathroom house to now a two-bath. Mm-hmm. I think that's probably the things that make the biggest benefits to adding space in the basement.
Well, certainly it can be a lot more reasonable in cost, because if you're trying to build out into your yard, first of all, if you're building an addition like that, you're taking up some of that valuable yard space. And you know how some of the yards are getting smaller and smaller, so you hate to take up any of that. And then you have the cost of creating the foundation and everything else. Whereas, in basements, of course, one of the main things is making sure that you have it all waterproof properly. Make sure you don't have any seepage in there.
Correct.
And then also, it is so good when you can provide that natural light. Now, I worked with BILCO on a project on my television show a few years ago, and man, I was just amazed at how the contractors, cut a section of the basement wall out, and then instead of just putting a window or something like that, or just a door in, actually created a large sliding door that had the terraced planting area that could serve as kind of an escape route. And this thing was underground. I was just amazed at the difference with that light coming in. And then once all of the plants were in place, it was hard to even know that you were even in a basement.
Oh, it's tremendous. And in addition to adding that natural daylight, you're insulating, you're waterproofing, insulating the walls. So it certainly makes that area more comfortable, not so damp and gloomy as what people consider a traditional basement to be. And definitely adding that space makes you feel like you're living on the first level with the amount of daylight that can pour in to those egress windows or egress doors.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that is so important, that, you hope that an emergency never takes place, but if it does, and to be code compliant, you have to have that opening sufficient to where people can leave in a hurry. Now, you have doors, you have also other type of openings that can come and go through there. What are some of the requirements there from the egress standpoint?
So the egress requirements, if you're doing a window, certainly I recommend you consult with the window manufacturer or your contractor to make sure it meets egress. We do not sell the windows, but it has to have a clear opening of 5.7 square feet, which is measured between the stops. The minimum opening is 20 inches in width and 24 inches in height to meet the egress code. And then the door opening is 32 inches if you've got a door down at the bottom where you've got a BILCO door on top of an areaway. That door has to measure 32 inches between the stop and the door when the door is perpendicular to the stops.
I see. Okay, good. That makes a lot of sense. Now, a door that's in a basement area is subject to a lot of weathering and a lot of moisture and a lot of things like that. I was very interested to learn that the BILCO basement doors have the powder coat finish. I mean, you can't beat that.
No. Powder coat finish, we came out with several years ago. We've added colors to it. It's become so popular. It's now available in 6 colors that really complement any home style today. It's white, gray, a brick red, sandstone, green, or black. And it's very popular. For me, it's a tremendous time saver as well as it can be a money saver. And when you consider the price of a gallon of enamel paint these days, and I don't have to either pay the contractor, it's a factory finish. Comes powder coat, we can do the door, we can do the extensions for the door. Definitely saves me time, and I believe saves me money.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Finishing your basement doors is the fastest and least expensive way to add living space and value to your home. BILCO basement doors and window wells add light, ventilation, and code-compliant emergency egress to lower-level living areas, making them as warm, safe, and comfortable as any room in the home. Basement doors are available with a factory-applied powder coat paint finish in a number of standard colors to complement any home. To learn how to get more out of your basement with BILCO products, visit BILCO.com.
Okay, Michael, I wanted to ask you, too, about BILCO and its history. You guys have been around a long, long time, and it's one of those things that's almost, when you're talking about basement access products, BILCO is almost like the Kleenex of the tissue industry and so forth. Tell us a little bit about the history of BILCO.
It has become that. BILCO started in 1926 as a steel and iron company in Connecticut, still headquartered in Connecticut. And it just came up with the idea of the Lyons family, which owned the business, came up with the idea of using steel for a basement door to replace the old wooden doors that were very common throughout the New England market. So he was the originator of the basement door. And like you said today, everything gets called a BILCO door.
That's right.
Whether it's BILCO or not.
That's exactly right. And I tell you, as we mentioned earlier, what a difference it can make to have the light coming in. Of course, you have the walkout basement that makes it very easy to cut the section of the wall out and to be able to install this. And but what I was amazed at the project that we did on the television show is even something that's underground. I mean, this was 8 or 9 feet down. And it sounds like an enormous project, but with just a little bit of digging with the backhoe and creating that space, and then the blocking that the form that went in, it's just like everything came in a kit, and it was amazingly easy. Of course, we always make things look easy on television, but it was amazingly easy to install all of that. I guess there's a lot of different styles and sizes to adapt to just about any kind of basement.
Yeah, on the Egress well side, we carry 2 different styles. We have the terrace style that you talk about, which is available in 3 different widths and 2 different heights, as well as there are extensions available for today's taller basements. The 3 different widths help you accommodate for anything from a single casement up to a large 2-wide casement that could be a window opening that's 60 inches wide. So that Scapewell brand works very well in that application. You saw it. Like I said, a terrace is back. It's a rectangular style well, which you can landscape the well and install. People like installing plants, flowers in there to brighten up that space. And then we offer the stack well, which we came out several years ago, which is a modular style well. It's more of a competitive priced product. Available only in one size. It's a 54-inch width, so it'll accommodate a 48-inch window for egress. And that particular model is available to pretty much stack it up as high as you want. And again, allows access out of it. Both products have built-in ladders or steps, which meet the egress codes, the IRC codes, and make it very easy, should there be an emergency, to access through the window out to grade level.
Finishing your basement doors is the fastest and least expensive way to add living space and value to your home. BILCO basement doors and window wells add light, ventilation, and code-compliant emergency egress to lower-level living areas, making them as warm, safe, and comfortable as any room in the home. Basement doors are available with a factory-applied powder coat paint finish in a number of standard colors to complement any home. To learn how to get more out of your basement with BILCO products, visit BILCO.com.
Okay, we also want to let everybody know that you can get a lot of tips for finishing your basement, as well as a lot more to learn about BILCO by going to todayshomeowner.com/basements. And some of the things that Michael's been talking about here, you can also go to BILCO.com and realize how much that they have available to help you convert that basement space. I'm sure, Michael, over the years, you have seen a lot of before and after projects involving a basement area.
It is. It does. And it's amazing when you saw it on the TV show. It's amazing when they're cutting that wall and then when they knock out that concrete slab, just the tremendous amount of light that pours into that space. And again, it not only makes the room more livable, it provides you that sense of security, knowing that should there be an emergency and you can't use the steps to get up to the first level, you have a way to exit that basement.
And there's a lot of remodeling contractors that specialize in basement renovations or do an awful lot of that. And that's really probably one of the starting points. In addition to going to BILCO.com, you really want to make sure you have a remodeling contractor that routinely does this type of work. Because I've talked to a number of them especially in the northeast part of the United States that really, that's basically all they do. They get known for that, and then all of a sudden they have more work than they can do because there's a lot of basements out there that really need some attention.
There are. We have some that specialize only in the bulkhead door or the BILCO door in the New England market. Important to search out a competent contractor, do your homework on that, as well as making sure that the contractor works with your local code officials. It's important to note that in addition to if you're putting living space in the basement, that you have emergency escape. And now if you add a bedroom in addition to the living space, that bedroom has to have emergency egress. So if you add 2 bedrooms, there needs to be 2 emergency egresses out of each bedroom. So it definitely work with the code officials as well as a competent contractor.
Yeah, there's some great information. Michael Enderlin, who's the regional sales manager for BILCO. Michael, I certainly appreciate you being with us, and we want to remind everybody, BILCO.com for all the information that we've talked about, and also for some more tips about finishing your basement. You can visit todayshomeowner.com/basement. Michael, thanks again, my friend.
Thank you, Danny.